Being calm is an essential characteristic if you want to act in the right way when adversities appear in your life, or even when you are walking towards your goals. After all, calm should not be used only for moments of pressure or of possible stress, but also for situations where you are anxious and want too much to get to where you want. And because being calm is important, this calm will control your emotions enough so that you can have a clean rationality and effective enough to pass through the path to success. Another point that is linked to calm is silence. A situation that proves this is when you are anxious to tell someone about your plan and you go there and you put everything out in a conversation with a friend, for example. But if you were calm, you would know that it is not appropriate to go around talking about your plans, and with that you would be able to maintain silence. So these two characteristics are linked in a way, and that's what I wanted to explore in this video. So let's get to the point. Don't miss any videos about self-improvement and success. Subscribe now and activate the little bell to strengthen the work done here. Let's go to the video. Why should you be calm and quiet? Because the attitude of saying everything that comes to mind when your emotions are running high is a fatal mistake. Make your dialogue have the least extension or the same proportion of the lines of your opponent, because who speaks more is the one who delivers more. That is, when your opponent speaks more than you, he will be giving you more information and even showing their real intentions. Let the other person speak more. There are more chances of him commit a slip and play some information that should not, due to the heat of the moment or even at the time of anger, show their real intentions that's still hidden. Let the person surrender in the middle of speech. I am sure that you have already been in a situation like this where you said more than you should have, and then wondered why you said what you did, and then regretted that you opened your mouth and said more than was necessary, because you let emotion take you away, and by allowing it, you left your rationality aside and hurt yourself. So pay attention to this and realize when your emotion is running high enough to close your mouth as much as possible. Or better yet, try to be the one to ask the other person about something, and not let the other person interrogate you. Then you ask me, but how can I be calm when this life is a sea of pressures? And I answer you, by paying attention to yourself. Every emotion starts from a thought in your mind, so all you have to do is choose whether to control and kill this thought, or let yourself be controlled and harmed by it to the point of losing control of your mental situation. If you don't believe or understand what I am saying, think about the following. Love, for example. You are there thinking you are the coldest guy in the world, and out of nowhere, you come across a woman from another world, extremely beautiful, with a beautiful smile and so on. If you just pass by her and go on with your life, soon the thought you created when you saw her will disappear from your mind, and you will probably forget her. However, if by some chance you talk to her, go on a date or something else, if all this happens, you will be more and more in love, because you will be thinking of her all the time. The same thing is anger. If a bad situation has arisen in your mind, or even you are putting too much attention on a certain problem in your life, you will be further and further away from the solution and feeding even more that bad situation. If you stop listening to that voice in your mind and put a thought away from your, let's say, central, you will not feed that idea and your calm will remain constant. So the first step is generally not to keep feeding the thought that carries negative emotions. And why do I say generally? Because let's face it, sometimes it's good to let the emotion flow in your body and mind. After all, we are not made to be only rational. But when you realize that the emotion will get in your way, take that attitude and don't feed anything. The other tip I give to be calmer is to find activities that just let you more controlled, like reading or exercising, or even meditation that calms you down a lot. In my case, I read a lot. This calms me down a lot, and at the same time brings me knowledge that becomes an advantage. But this is up to each one. But be careful. Find an activity that calms you down and gives you only advantages. Because sometimes you find something that will calm you down, but that actually was doing you harm. So, be careful about this. And what about being silent? The silence enters a strategic way as a complement of calm. As I said at the beginning of the video, if you talk less with the opponent is at an advantage. However, if the enemy decides to be attacking you with questions, do not despair or even stress. Keep calm, and with the help of silence will give pauses between his question and your answer. In this way, you intimidate the questioner and give him more time to find a short and direct answer that will not compromise you. And you can even not answer. And if you decide not to answer, stay in silence and focus your gaze on the eyes of the one who asks you. Because most people can't stand to be faced, and probably the one who will be asking you will be intimidated by your gaze. That's because silence intimidates. And not only that, silence can be interesting, mysterious, and so on. There are different effects that the silent individual can cause. That's why I said, silence must be strategic and together with calm, because if you get desperate and lose that calm, you're going to talk nonsense or you're going to use silence in the wrong way, because there are moments to be silent and others that it's crucial to talk. And then if you stay silent when you should talk, you end up passing an image that you're shy or that you don't have the capacity to answer such a question. But how will I know which question to answer? Answer those that will not compromise you and that are essential, and stop answering or change the subject, or just say something short without committing yourself when it is a question that is clearly for pure curiosity or a question that is not worth answering.